guys, welcome to another video. My name is Reezy, and on my channel I teach people how to make money selling things on the internet, particularly Amazon, a little bit of eBay, a little bit of other stuff like merch by Amazon, print on demand stuff, but for the most part it's Amazon. And my specialty just happens to be used books. I've been selling used books on Amazon full time for over 13 years, approaching 14 years now. And in that time, I've sold over 5 million gross sales on Amazon. Obviously, that is gross. That is not profit. I have a business partner. We have an operation. We have overhead. But needless to say, what I'm doing and what I'm teaching on my channel has provided me freedom of lifestyle. I haven't had to work for anybody for over 13 years. And I'm able to more or less do what I want to do. And that's really what I love to share with you guys, is how to change your life using income that comes from the internet so that you can do what you really want to do with your life, whether that's, spend time with your kids, or maybe you want to go to the gym more, or maybe you want to travel more, or whatever. The rabbit hole with online sales goes extremely deep, and there's much more to it than the stuff that I teach on my channel, but I do try to expose everyone to a lot of the different opportunities that are available. That being said, this video is particularly about Amazon, and it's going to be over the topic of how long does it take items to sell on Amazon. So if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel, press the button down there, smash the like button. Feel free to comment any questions that you guys might have. I generally don't answer questions until the end, and I think this video is going to be pretty quick, just maybe like 5 minutes. So the question at hand that I get a lot of times is, how long will it take you to sell those items? Or on videos, people are like, that's not profit because you didn't actually sell those items yet. Well, obviously the items haven't sold yet. I just bought them. But provided that I made good buying decisions as a seller, which sometimes I don't make the best decisions, but I'm right way more than I'm wrong, which is why I've been doing this for over 13 years, the items will sell. Sometimes they take longer than expected, but they will always sell for the most part. 90 to 95% of everything that I buy eventually ends up selling. There's some random reasons that sometimes stuff doesn't sell, but for the most part, it goes as expected. And for me to buy a bunch of stuff from a store and say that I just did $3,000 in profit in that haul from that store, that's the only way that you can measure how well you did as a reseller on that buying or shopping trip. Of course, like I said, it doesn't always go as expected, but it might even go better than expected. You're just as likely to sell stuff for less than what you thought it would sell for as you are to sell it for more. It just depends which way the market goes, right? So is there more supply or less supply between the time you bought it and afterwards? If you're buying stuff from like Target clearance that's nationwide, you can expect the price to go down because everybody has that. But here's the thing, guys. It kind of doesn't matter how long it takes stuff to sell. The only reason it does matter is because Amazon FBA has long-term storage fees. Now, once upon a time in a land far ago, there was no long-term storage fees, and that was kind of the golden era of selling on Amazon FBA. Now there is long-term storage fees. They charge it 6 months and 12 months on a rolling basis. So every single month, if your inventory has been at FBA for 6 to 12 months, you get charged a fee. The 12-month fee is double what the 6-month fee is, and after 12 months, there's a rolling fee that gets charged every single month of a quarter. So you have two main drives. One, at all costs, you want to sell anything before 12 months. And two, the 6-month fee. You might, depending on your profit margins or your business model, you might want to sell it before the 6-month threshold comes to bite you. Now, with my inventory, most of the non-book items sell within 6 months or less. With books, 90 to 95% of all the books that I sent to Amazon FBA that are gonna sell have sold before 12 months. So I usually junk stuff that I've had, books that I've had for over 12 months. But the ones that I keep in my inventory are the ones that I see the light at the end of the tunnel, the ones that are going to be worth more. But when people are like, for example, a video that I have right now that's doing really well is how to make $1 million selling shoes. Click up here to check that video out. And a lot of people are like, okay, sure, fine, $3,000 profit, but it's going to take you how long to see that profit? 3 months, 6 months? In 3 to 6 months, I could do X with $3,000 or whatever, $5,000 and make much more. But guess what? I'm not just buying one time in 3 to 6 months. I'm buying 3 times a week, 5 times a week, every single day. So what happens is that if I make a haul that is going to make me, and let's just simplify it, if I fill up my car with stuff, whatever it is, and I expect to make $100 profit, and let's say it's going to take 6 months to make that. If I then again do the same thing the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, eventually my snowball is going to grow, and I will be getting daily payouts from Amazon that equal about $100. So what I mean to say is that as long as your average input into your Amazon FBA account is called, we call it feeding the beast, because Amazon is much like a beast. You need to quit. You need to quit. You need to keep feeding the beast. If you don't feed the beast, your sales are going to start to slow, because what happens is if I send in, let's say I have 10 items and I send them all in, these 2 might sell the day they get there. These 3 might sell within the first week. This one might sell in the next month. These 2 might sell in 3 months. And this one might take 6 months to sell. And maybe this one never sells and I have to have it sent back to me and sell it on eBay or whatever. But you see what I'm saying? If you send those 10 items in every single day, instead of it being 2 that sold today, it's going to be 4, 6, 8. The snowball grows. So any Amazon FBA business model is a catalog game. If you're selling wholesale, you want to have a large catalog of inventory, a lot of stuff that you're selling. Same thing with private label. You'll do much better if you have multiple products. And it's no different with retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or with books. But it's very important to understand this concept that you need to have a sustainable buying activity that you can repeat again and again and again, because your sales start to grow as a reflect of your consistent, similar input to feeding the beast. And that's kind of why it doesn't matter how long it doesn't matter how long it takes to sell stuff. It does, but only at the 6-month long-term storage fee or the 12-month long-term storage fee, unless you have very, very limited capital and you need to sell faster than that to get your capital back to continue to flip. As long as you can sustain your activity capital-wise, then your only restricting factor is the 6-month long-term storage fee and the 12-month long-term storage fee. And most, if anything, is going to be sold within 6 months if you're making good buying decisions, which we have an extremely large amount of data to access as buyers. We have Keepa graphs, which is insane. That's basically cheating, like to be able to see how often something sells and to see what price it was when it sold and to see how it performed when Amazon was in stock and when they weren't in stock. And then aside from that, you can see product reviews on product detail pages. How many stars does it have? You know, if you look at an item and you're unsure about it, but it has 500 stars, you can be pretty sure that that's selling, because guess what? Most people do not leave feedback, a review on an item. Think about how many items have you purchased yourself off of Amazon, and how many reviews have you left on items? Not a lot. So when I see something that has 500 reviews, I'm going to assume it's probably sold at least 5,000 times, because probably 1 in 100 people that purchase an item on Amazon leave a review about that product, right? So you have sales rank chart, which is through Keepa.com, Keepa.com. Also Camel. I prefer Keepa. It's way more advanced. It's just better. But Camel is also awesome. Don't forget, guys, Patrick just reminded me, get the Keepa extension for Chrome. It's free. Get it. There's another extension called How Many that will actually embed on your browser how many quantity different people have in their inventory. I see Rusty Raccoon in the chat just said, I'll leave something in for 2 years. I don't care. It just depends what's your business model. If that item that you're storing for 2 years is only going to make you $5 profit when it sells, it's probably not going to be worth it for you, because you're going to get charged after the first year. You're going to get charged a quarter every month. So what is that? $3 a year plus another 6-month and another 12-month long-term storage fee, which is pretty intense. So you definitely don't want to get charged fees, but it kind of doesn't matter how long it takes something to sell, as long as you are focusing on growing your catalog at a sustainable rate. Let's see. Joseph Gatto, and I'll take some questions right now, guys, for the next 5 minutes or so. What is your repricing strategy? Do you match lowest price or hold out for higher prices? Great question, Joseph. So I use repriceit.com for my books for repricing. It's the most economical because I have 9,000, almost 10,000 books in inventory. It's the one that's it's the most economical for books, the best deal. And with books, they're very high beta, meaning they don't sell very fast. So it's not imperative that you price them, 10 times a day like it would be if you were selling chapstick or shoes or toothbrushes or something that's much more of a consumable. But for everything else, I use a different repricer. I was previously using App Eagle, which is now called informed.co, but I am switching to BQOOL or Be Cool. I think that's how you say it. It's much more economical. I like the interface better. App Eagle was a little screwy with the way they pull your inventory from Amazon for you to set repricing rules. And Be Cool has an integration with Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is a software that we use for listing our retail arbitrage items, and it's the truth. So we definitely use that, and I love the integration there. Oscar Chavez said, is the book selling course up to date? I'm thinking about getting it. Yes, guys, if you want to grab the book selling course, it's not my course, but it's the only course that I recommend by my good friend Jim Pickens, a seasoned bookseller. You can go to www.scanthatshit.com and pick up a copy. There's also a link down in the description if you guys want to check that out. Let me see. Mary says, I have phenomenal items. I have them listed, lowest price, 0 sales. You must not have phenomenal items. What is telling you that they are phenomenal? Is it sales rank and reviews? Because that's what you should use to make your decisions. A lot of times we might think we have amazing stuff, but the market will really tell you what's amazing. How much money would you suggest for someone just starting out? Run what you brung, Jeremy, whatever you got, man. Like, whatever you can afford to lose and you're okay with, you don't need it to eat or do whatever you need to do, then I would invest it into the business. That being said, there's free options. You can get inventory for free off of Craigslist, off of OfferUp, off of Letgo, flip it to Facebook Marketplace, do the kind of stuff that Gary Vee talks about, and you can grow your income like that. You could even provide services for other people, then make money like that, and then use that money to roll into stuff. You could even have your friends and family give you stuff that they were going to donate. Like, yo, guys, I'm starting to sell online. Anything that you guys want to get rid of, that you're not interested in carrying anymore, don't take it to the Goodwill. Bring it to me. Or even better, offer a service and tell them that you'll pick it up. Get that stuff, go through it, find what's good, flip it on eBay. Unfortunately, when you start out selling on Amazon, you're going to be restricted in a lot of different categories. So I always tell people to be diverse, like be a thrift army knife. So that's worth money and that's worth money. Even though you can't sell it here, you can sell it there, sell it on eBay, sell it on Poshmark, sell it on Mercari, flip it on Facebook Marketplace. Like, be diverse so that you can be sustainable until you're unlocked on Amazon. We call it maximum approval, but you have to sell. And that's an internal term by Amazon, by the way. Your Amazon account will hit maximum approval after some magical period, 6 to 12 months of consistent selling and good metrics, and then you will be able to sell all the big brands that you see seasoned sellers selling on. Let's see. What up, Reezy? I'm late. What's up, Hustle Venom? Sent my first shipment to FBA Canada 2 days ago. That's awesome, Scavenger. Are you in the United States or are you in Canada? The Canadian, all Amazon markets will probably, like in different countries, will trend towards what we're doing in the United States, but they're just a little bit behind. So that's a great opportunity for people in different countries to sell on those platforms and get out front of the pack before everyone else does. In America, everybody buys on Amazon. It's insane. Like I don't see any they don't have to advertise anymore at all in America for Amazon. Everyone shops on Amazon. When I tell people what I do for a living, my segue is like, hey, you know, when you buy something on Amazon, and if someone says no, I look at them like crazy. Like, what do you mean you don't buy on Amazon? That's crazy. If we got any wrenches in the chat, please ban the Steve Henry. I would appreciate that. I do not know how to do that. Let's see. There we go. I think I just did it from mobile. Is supplements gated? I believe supplements is gated. Andrew says, how important is sell-through rate? It is not that important. I do not believe that it affects your product's sales velocity at all, but it's important to you financially because there are charges that occur with having inventory that is stale and takes forever to sell. Oscar says, you and Gary invited me to start going to flea markets again. I found a Dragon Ball Z arcade stick, and there's only one on eBay. It goes for $120. Tight. Is that like a Street Fighter-esque competition style fighting stick? That sounds really dope. I used to play video games. I have a fond memory of video games. Henry Tube says, scanning every day. Thanks for all the info you put up and finding gold here in Seattle. Man, Seattle is the truth. I want to go to Seattle just to go thrifting because I know people that live in Seattle and they're always just posting the dopest stuff. Let's see. Any tips to get the buy box? In your Amazon account, in the manage inventory pane, there's an option to turn on in the preferences to see if you're buy box eligible. Everybody should have that turned on. And if you're not buy box eligible, you need to find out why. And sometimes there's no reason why you shouldn't have it. And you just have to contact seller support on Amazon and inquire and just push them to get it. If you're new on Amazon, you need to understand that Amazon is extremely automated. I can make a whole video about this. And you need to know what you want or what they owe you because you're not going to get it if you don't ask for it, because the system's too automated. They focus all their energy on the customers, and then sellers get the shortest end of the short stick. So you need to fight for yours because Amazon's not going to offer it up. Keith says FBA is the best, far and away, definitely. What's the ideal sales rank to stay under 4 books? That's a really broad question, Bob. It depends on the title for the most part, but with the sales rank graph that we have or with the E-score on Scout IQ, you really shouldn't be asking that question because you can know how many times has it sold in the last 60 days and what's it worth for you. That being said, anytime a rank is over 1 million, I look into it a little more. Sometimes if it's under 1 million, I'll take it at face value. But if you guys are scanning books and you're not using an app, you definitely need to check out Scout IQ. There's a link for a free trial down below in the description. So click on that, get your free trial, and go to work on scanning some books and see what it's worth. Also, it's worth pointing out that there's a huge shortage on scanners right now. So scanners used to be 50 bucks, then they were 75, then they were 80. Now they're like 100, 120. You'll be lucky to find a refurbished or a used one for 80 on eBay. But I recommend this $40 scanner, which you can get on eBay and Amazon, called the eYoYo, E-Y-O-Y-O scanner. It might not last a year or more, and it's super large and clunky, but it will get the job done, and it's only 40 bucks. So for those of you that can't afford one of the nicer scanners, I recommend getting it. Alexander in the chat right here, he lives in Canada, and he says he has an eYoYo scanner, so it definitely works. Is it okay to sell a product that says sponsored? Kind of scares me a bit. Yes, Dr. Pepper, that just means that someone is paid to advertise their product using the AMS platform, Amazon Marketing System. So that advertisement is sponsored in the search results. The product itself is not sponsored, just that advertisement. Ivan says, Reezy, what kind of information can we find on your Patreon? I'm thinking about signing up. Oh, great question, Ivan. So my Patreon is $37 a month. There was $20 slots, which have sold out, and sometimes people will drop out, so there might be $20 slots opening. There's a link down there you can click on, patreon.com/Reezy, and that is basically like a first-in-line access to me. It's a mastermind group. It's a private group. We share all kinds of help with each other. So if I'm outsourcing stuff, I'll actually put screenshots of everything I'm buying from whatever store I'm at in that group. Or if there's online arbitrage stuff I'm buying, I'll put that in the group. We share with each other how to get ungated on DVDs, all different kinds of stuff. Stuff that you wouldn't share like out in the open on the internet because there's vultures out there, right? So as much as I do share with you guys, there's some stuff that can't be shared because either the deals will just disappear or because it's risky to put it out there because someone could find your account. So in the group, we help each other out. You know, I might look at your account. I might show you my account so you can get some ideas for how things work. I share my repricing settings, different stuff in there. I just try to provide a premium experience for people. I might not always be in there, but other people will. They can help you out, so that's always cool. Let's see right here. Bob Johnson says, why do you prefer Scout IQ over FBA Scan? Great question. There's two main reasons. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Hustle Venom. I really appreciate that. So there's two main reasons why I prefer FBA Scan over Scout IQ. One, the layout is a bazillion times better, right? Bazillion times better. Two, setting the triggers. So setting triggers on FBA Scan, you have to be like a rocket scientist or an engineer. There's just way too many freaking settings and the layout is ridiculous. Scout IQ is very simple to set triggers, and in fact, the default triggers on Scout IQ are pretty perfect. Like, you almost don't need to adjust them at all. Also, it's definitely worth noting that FBA Scan, although they were the originator in scanning, the people that run that company are no longer booksellers. They don't sell books. They have no idea what's going on with the market, and they're not in touch with the marketplace. Scout IQ, the creator, Kayla, he's actually a bookseller by trade. That's his main source of income. You can find him on YouTube and Instagram at The Book Flipper. And he innovated the scouting game with a bunch of different features, one of which is the e-score, which tells you how many times an item has sold in the last 60 days, which is huge because it saves you a lot of time when scanning books, because normally what we would do, we would scan something and you would look at the results, and if you were on the fence about making a decision, you would have to dig into the sales rank graph and go and count the spikes on the sales rank graph to see how many times something sold in the last month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever period you're looking into, and that takes forever. Instead, he came up with something that they call e-score on Scout IQ, where their system counts the spikes like in real time as they measure it every single day, and then they give you that number, so you don't have to look and go count it because it's already there. That being said, FBA Scan turned around and copied them right away, and FBA Scan copied a lot of other stuff that Scout IQ does, and I'm sure they will continue to do it, but FBA Scan basically is the same more or less for over 10 years. They didn't make any changes at all. They didn't care about us as booksellers. They didn't listen to us. I gave them many, many changes over the last decade, and they failed to implement them. They basically didn't care about us at all. And then Scout IQ comes along and makes changes, and now FBA Scan wants to pretend like they care about us, which to me is just disrespectful. So I prefer Scout IQ because the interface is better, because the triggers are easier to set, because it's owned and operated by a bookseller, someone in our community that actually provides value to the community. And I'd rather, you know, you pay with your purchase, right? Like, you vote with your money when you buy stuff, and I'm voting for Caleb and Scout IQ. Scout IQ does do more than just books. They currently only have database mode for books, but in live mode, you can scan everything, not just books. Let's see. That being said, a lot of us use Inventory Lab to list stuff, and Inventory Lab comes with a free scanning app called Scoutify, which is only live, which means it's terrible for books and media. So I use Scout IQ for books and media on database mode, and then I use Scoutify for everything else, like when I'm buying shoes or other retail arbitrage. And Scoutify, God, I can't speak. Scoutify has a really great a buy list feature. So when you scan stuff and you're going to buy it, you add it to the buy list, and that integrates with Inventory Lab. You just email it to yourself. You load it into the app, and it makes listing your inventory on Inventory Lab much, much faster, which I definitely prefer. Let's see if we got any more questions. Scout IQ is in the process of becoming available in Canada and the UK, definitely. Let's see. Dr. Pepper says FBA Scan has database for non-book items, which is very nice. This is true. It's definitely very nice. I actually still have 2 subscriptions to FBA Scan because I purchased the lifetime subscription model when they offered it right before Scout IQ launched, because they were super scared they were going to lose people to Scout IQ. But I was using FBA Scan solely for over 10 years. So I know the app is good, and it was definitely worth it. And one thing that Scout IQ doesn't have that FBA Scan does have at the moment, that Scout IQ will probably launch soon, is the ability to have hidden mode. So you can have people working for you scanning stuff, and they can't actually see the prices. Let me see. John the Third has a question. Where's your question, John? It's kind of hard for me to find this on mobile. I will scan through here and try to find it. 1 second. John the Third. Looking. Man, it's very deep in here. I can't find it. John, can you comment again, please? And I'll answer your question. Let's see. Alexander's in the chat answering all kinds of questions. Andrew Mangels says, what is your sell-through rate? I'm concerned mine is too low. You know, I'm not the best with data, but I think we do about 15% a month, something like that. I'm not sure. I actually did an interview with Kayla Broth on Reezy Talks the last time that the Amazon FBA fee changes were announced, and he analyzed my inventory data, and we talked about stuff like that in there. So click up here if you want to check that video out. Not right now while we're live, but after I post it, I can link it up in the menu for you guys. Hustle Venom says, I can't wait for the family channel starting tomorrow, right? Yes, starting tomorrow, guys. So starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to launch the first video on my family vlog channel, and I would love to have your guys' support over on the family vlog channel. I'll put a link in the comments section, and I'll pin it that you guys can check out. But it's basically going to be all of my non-educational content, us trying weird food, vlogs, traveling, all that stuff. And the first 14, like that's not 14, the first 14 videos are going to be my trip to Europe with the family. So I'm very excited, and I would love to have your guys' subscription there. You can search Reezy Fam Vlogs on YouTube, or just go to bit.ly/Reezy Fam Vlogs and go over there and subscribe. It's going to be hot fire, as Dylan would say. Let's see if we got a couple more questions. I got to head out. And what time is it? What time is it? It's 4:30. I got to head out and get some stuff done. Let's see. Sell by me. What type of account is needed to sell books on Amazon? Any account. If you guys don't know, you do not have to pay $40 a month to sell on Amazon. I made another video. I don't want to reference like whatever, but I made a recent video how I lost $10,000 selling on my first year on Amazon, and that video covers this whole debate. Do you need a pro account or do you not? But to sum it up, if you're not selling 40 items or more a month on FBA, you do not need a pro account. If you want to apply to sell in restricted categories, you do need a pro account. So make your decision. Mangles, I mangled your last name. Mangels. Andrew Mangels. Mangles. I don't know. There's not like mangles. Mangles? I don't know. I apologize. But it's a little different, the Gary V. Reezy thing, because there's the two consonants thing. Come on. Let's see. In Canada, pro is only 30. Oh, I did not know that. That's awesome. What is up, Danny? Dr. Pepper, can you answer my last question? It's really hard to track down the questions on the mobile. I get like a line. Right now I'm scrolling, and I can only see about 4 questions at a time. Okay, let's see. I found it. If there are 8 sellers on an item and the estimated profit is $40,000 per month, is it safe to just divide $40,000 by 8 to gauge the rough profit for me? Maybe. It just depends. Do you mean 8 sellers on one product detail page, or do you mean that you researched that type of item and there's only 8 people offering any type of that item, meaning there are only 8 people fulfilling the need for the customer? This is like a private label question, and I'm not really good with private label at all. I actually have only tried once and have a failed private label product. But the reason I failed on private label is, if I can make a whole video about this, but Basically, I looked at an opportunity much more than I realized the fact of how thin the market was. So if there's only 8 sellers for an item and 3 of them are making most of the profit and the other 5 aren't hardly making anything, that's not a good opportunity. That tells you that these 5 are having a really hard time getting into the profit that these other 3 are getting. The type of items you want to get into is where there's 8 people selling and all 8 of them are making a good amount of money. That tells you that when you get in on it, you'll be able to make money also. Maria, sending out your first FBA order. Awesome. Awesome. I started with FBA because it's too easy to sell more than 40 items a month. I wouldn't say easy. It definitely depends. No on a listing. Dr. Pepper, no, because if it's all on one product detail page and those are all multiple offers, you can't just spread it equally. You're assuming that they're sharing the buy box equally, but they might not be sharing the buy box equally, and some people can have more inventory than others. So it could be one seller making all the sales while the 7 other sellers are not making any sales. The only way you can actually track this is to check the stock of all these sellers day through day and then graph it and make a chart and see how many they're selling and assume that if it went down, it's because they sold stuff. You can use the how many extension to help you with that as well. Let's see, that baker board is fire. Which one? Which one? What baker board? Oh, the Luigi board. Yeah, that one's tight. That's one of my favorites. I'm a sucker for video game stuff, so I got the Enjoy board, which is the Mario, the Excite Bike, which you can't really see up there, and then the middle you can see the TNC Surf Design reference, and then I got above the Back to the Future board, there's another slightly inappropriate Nintendo board. Let's see. Linda says, Amazon suggests match low price. Why? Because they make money when you sell. They want you to sell, guys. So you need to take Amazon's suggestions with a grain of salt because, and definitely I wouldn't recommend using the Amazon repricer. They are your competition and they benefit in situations where you're not necessarily benefiting. So they don't care or know what your profit margin is, but they're making money when you sell. So of course they're suggesting you to price your items where they're gonna sell right now. It's not always right. It's just like eBay. If any of you guys sell on eBay, you know the suggested prices on eBay that they want you to price stuff at is kind of wacky sometimes. It would end up in you losing a good margin. Manzu says, thanks, Reezy. I sold 10,000 of books in my second full month. That's so awesome. Off topic, I found an 88 Zorlak Metallica skateboard. Whoa, for a few dollars, sold for 400 plus on eBay. Oh, didn't sell it yet. Any skateboard forum I'd recommend? Yes. This OG website, it's actually a forum, and I believe it's called The Art of Skateboarding or Art of Skateboarding, and there's another one called Skull and Bones Skateboarding Collector Forum. Skateboarding collectors hang out in there, and that's where you should ask for information on rare old skateboards or put up them to sell. What kind of car do you drive? I have a 2010 Audi Q5. Bowser and Peach. I know this is Amazon video, but I have a question about eBay. We'll save that for another day. Let's see. Henry says, I'm manually repricing everything at the moment. That's great. If you can do it, you can do it. Get a repricer when you get tired of manually repricing stuff. Question, can I just create a listing for holiday toys and change quantity to 0 to stay ahead of things? I think I will be gated soon. Do I actually need to sell one of each item to stay ungated? No, but you need to sell some toys or you will not be allowed to sell during fourth quarter. Amazon restricts the sale of toys and games during fourth quarter to people that have already done it and have good metrics with it because they're trying to preserve the customer experience. Let's see. Where's the best places to source for Q4? Well, wherever has toys is going to be your best friend. So seeing as how we lost Jeffrey, RIP Toys R Us, I'm going to drop a couple of tears, a moment of silence. But, yeah, Walmart and Target are probably going to be your best sources this year for Q4 toys. Otherwise, buying online. I expect myself to spend a lot more money online arbitrage this year than I did last year because I don't have Toys R Us, right? So I think Kmart has some toys, not really a great selection, but Target and Walmart are by far going to be your huge RA targets. What do you think about the competition in Cali, such as IELA and SD? Every time I go sourcing, it's pretty dry. Just got to keep at it, man. I'm never worried about competition. Let's see. Thanks. What about Home Goods? Yeah, I mean, stores like Home Goods and TJ Maxx and Marshalls, they have toys, but they never have a large quantity. It's usually dinged up, store returns, etc. But it's not, it's not great. Avery says, other than toys, what are the biggest categories for Q4? Anything, Avery. Anything that people like sells like hotcakes in Q4 because they get purchased as gifts. Clothing, toys, electronics, video games, DVDs, basically everything that people are interested in spikes, but people spend a ridiculous amount of money on children, which is why toys and games just blow the hell up during holidays. Gifts for your husband, gifts for your boyfriend, that kind of stuff, obviously all going to sell well. In like the tide rises, the boats rise with the tide, or however that saying goes. So when Amazon gets that more traffic, just everything just blows up. But specifically stuff that's for children will blow up much more demand-wise because it's Christmas. People go crazy for kids. They just, they assume, the larger the present pile is, the more they love their kids. So they spend money without even thinking. And then what happens is people wait way too long to buy stuff, and then they order it on the last minute on Amazon, and they have to pay crazy prices, which is why Q4 is so dope. Question, do you still sell marginal books? I do, if they sell fast. Let's see. Open wholesale accounts for toys if you guys want an edge over RA sellers. Definitely true. You can definitely get an edge, like Moose says, but it's not that simple. A lot of times the wholesale prices are not even as profitable as the prices you're able to get stuff for on clearance at RA or OA. It just depends. Like, you can go make an account with, like, say, Entertainment Earth, for example, which is a great wholesaler to get approved for different toy brands. But 99.5% of their catalog is just way overpriced, and you're not able to profit at those prices. How are you adapting to the new shipping rules where you supposedly have to send in the smaller parts of the split shipments and not cancel them? You just got to send them in. That's all you got to do. Reezy, last question from thoughts on sourcing at Costco. Also, Avery, be aware that the new rule is about shipments, not shipping plans. And you get to preview what the shipment is going to be before you make it into a shipment. So when it's still a shipping plan and you press like the almost to the last final thing, it will show you what shipments it wants you to send. And you have to accept that. And that's the point that they become shipments. So you can manipulate the shipping plan as much as you want to get the outcome for the shipments that you want. So if you're about to go make a shipment and it's like, oh, you'll have to send 4 books to this warehouse, go back into your shipping plan and remove those 4 books from the shipping plan. Then when you proceed forward, you'll only have 1 shipment and you won't be forced to send those 4 books to that shipping plan. Then you can do one of 2 things. You can either store those books to the side in a box that has the code for that warehouse on it and ship those to that warehouse when you get more items to build enough to build a shipment worthy of sending to that warehouse, or you just try to run them through the system again and see if it wants them to go somewhere else that would be worth it for you. Let's see, the Thriftologist just got my first shipment in 3 days ago, hit most of my items with a FC transfer, but it's all good. Dude, I can't wait for you to start making your first sales, Landon. It's going to be awesome. It's been a long time coming. I've watched all your Reezy talks. Selling shirts on demand seems like the way to go if you have the time to put into landing commercial accounts. Definitely, if you can get partnered with people that have good intellectual property, you'd be killing it. Let's see. How much should I be buying daily or weekly? Whatever you can afford to spend, whatever you can afford. You'll figure it out. You just need to start. Just start doing it. Anyways, guys, that's almost 40 minutes into a video that I thought would only be 5 or 10 minutes max. I thank you guys for your questions. Please remember to hit the like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and I would really appreciate your subscription on the vlog channel. New videos launching Monday, and we're going to launch 1 a day and I think I have like 25 videos at least. So I can't promise I'll sustain the 1 video a day thing, but for the first month, 1 video a day, and I would really appreciate your guys' subscription over there. I love you guys. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Enjoy your weekend, your 3-day weekend, your 4-day weekend, whatever you got. Chilling with your fam. Maybe you're just kicking back, working on your e-commerce business, or you're watching YouTube videos, and I definitely appreciate that. What more can I say? Subscribe to the channel. We the best. We the best YouTube channel. Oh yeah, real quick, I want to thank you guys for 35,000 subscribers. My channel just broke 35,000 subscribers while I was sleeping last night, and I'm pretty proud of that. And I went and looked at my metrics, and my channel has over 2 million views and over 14 million minutes of watch time. That's a lot of time watching this face talk, so I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Enjoy your weekend. Peace out. Comment down below if you guys need any help or you have suggestions. I would love to help you out with that. Peace. See you on the vlog channel, I hope.